In today's hyper-connected world, brands have a major role as the repositories of trust, primarily because in a fragmented world, brands are the ultimate trust marks. Today we navigate by brands, and in fact, despite sometimes social media snafus, it's very hard to destroy a brand because there is a lot of goodwill that has been built over time over a brand. So brands are ultimate navigation devices, and people actually own brands and they're emotional to brands. But how they do it becomes extremely important, and that's the whole idea of basically being authentic, being purposeful, and being transparent. The most successful ways to build trust is to be apt to the times, and I use the word APT. A is for the brand to be authentic. So the brand and the people behind the brand need to ensure that they are what they claim that they are. That is number one. The second is that they need to be purpose-driven. They need to have a purpose, not only the brand purpose, but a greater purpose than selling something. And the third is they need to be as transparent as they possibly can be. Look at it, a new brand that has managed to do that is Warby Parker. So Warby Parker was transparent in showing that they made the same margin on one particular step as a company like Luxottica, but they explained that Luxottica made a margin every single time across the chain. So they had everything from the factory to the retail to the Giorgio Armani license. These guys basically eliminated all of that, still make a good profit. So that was transparency. Don't do something if you would not like to see it on the front page of the New York Times. Today, what tends to basically happen is almost everything that you do gets onto the front page of the New York Times, usually through social media first. So if enough people are tweeting, linking in, posting at some stage, people begin to know about it. And so the idea today is that you have to be authentic, and you need to be authentic in three ways. The first way you need to be authentic is you need to actually promise what you deliver. The second is your people need to be authentic. Today what has basically happened is people actually believe a brand's employees more than they even believe a brand's customers. And the third is all of management should be very clear that they need to be very clear that they're in the business for profit, so they can't say that they're not in the business for profit, but then they need to show why their profits are justified. Employees are behind the scenes and actually know how things are. So if you do not have well-informed, well-purposed employees, you have an issue. It's one of the reasons today why companies like Costco and Starbucks do particularly well, and why other companies are now starting to invest in people like Walmart and others, because the customer actually interacts with the employee. And so the employee is the second reason to be authentic. The best way that financial brands can build connectivity and transparency is to recognize that almost any information that is not consumer or customer confidential should be shared with the customer. And if they don't, someone else will. Because the reality of it is only control that a competitor can beat an incumbent with. They cannot beat it on convenience, and they cannot beat it on confidence. So they can only beat it on control.